Welcome to the Breakup Corner. I'm Dave Barker. Today we're going to go over 7 of the most common signs that indicate you have no chance of ever getting your ex back. If you're trying to win back your ex right now and you're worried that you might just be wasting your time, keep watching and we'll see how many of these 7 signs ring true for you. The more that apply to your current situation, the less likely it is that you'll be able to get back together. Sign number 1. It's been a long time since your breakup. It's no secret. The longer it's been since you broke up, the worse your chances of getting them back are, at least in most cases. But here's something you probably didn't know. It's also more difficult to get your ex back immediately after breaking up. Taking this time apart is very helpful to your chances of getting back together, especially if you apply my no contact strategy soon after the breakup. The best time to get your ex back is 30 days after your breakup, especially if you've stayed away from your ex during those 30 days. But after the first 1 or 2 months, time becomes your enemy. This is when your ex starts to adjust to life on their own. They begin to forget about you and they may even start dating someone new. This obviously hurts your chances. In that case, you're going to have to take a different approach. More on that later. Sign number 2, your ex is married. Yes, if your ex has moved on, found someone new, formed a new relationship, and got married, this is a pretty clear sign that they're never coming back. Many of you will find this obvious, but others might find it hard to accept. You may think that if you just do and say all the right things, you'll still have a chance, but this is not the case. I know it's hard to admit, but your ex has a new life with someone else now, and you're not a part of it. The same is true if your ex is in a serious relationship. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can really do to break them up, and if you did, wouldn't you always worry that someone else could come along and do the same thing to you? So if your ex is married or partnered up, it's time to face reality and move on with your life. That said, if your ex has only been seeing someone for a short while after the breakup, and it's not that serious, then there's still a good chance that this is what we would call a rebound relationship. This means that they're only seeing this new person to avoid their feelings, to get revenge on you, or in a misguided attempt to move on. In any case, these are actually good signs for your chances of getting them back because it shows that they miss you and they're invested in the relationship. That doesn't mean that you should just reach out to them and ask for a second chance. Instead, wait for the relationship to fall apart on its own and then show up miraculously to help your ex pick up the pieces. As hard as it can be to watch, these rebound relationships typically only last between 2 to 6 weeks. Sign number 3, your ex has repeatedly told you to leave them alone. Now I know this one can be hard to face, and it happens quite often to clients of mine. If your ex has told you, no, I don't want to be with you, I don't want to talk to you, go away, then you need to take them at their word and leave them alone. I know you think that if you could just make your feelings clear to them, then they'd realize that you're the one for them. If only they'd let you in. But this approach never works once your ex has put their defenses up. Now, instead of bringing you together, every time you reach out, it only hardens their heart more. When they see a text from you pop up, they feel alarmed before they've even read it. When they see you're calling them, they start to get nervous. And when they see you in person, they're annoyed and angry, regardless of what you have to say. The way out here is not to keep at it and be persistent. That's just going to lead to a restraining order. Instead, you need to give your ex space. A lot of space. As far as they're concerned, it should just be like you disappeared one day. No messages, no phone calls, no return address. From here, in some cases, you may still have a chance to get with them after a long time apart, but this is pretty rare. Unfortunately, you're going to have to live with the real possibility that they're never coming back. If your ex has left town, so have your chances. Think about it. How can you promise a future with this person when you two don't even live in the same place? Long distance has put an end to many relationships. In fact, for some of you, it is probably why you're here in the first place. Distance can easily kill your chances of rekindling things after a breakup just because of all the logistical problems. How are you going to meet up when you're in different places? How can you rebuild a life together from a distance? These are the thoughts that are going to make your ex keep their distance, even if they might otherwise consider getting back together. But just because your ex won't come back to you, that doesn't mean that you can't make it happen with a little bit of determination and a lot of luck. Here are some factors to consider that will help your chances of getting your ex back. If one or both of you move around quite frequently, then you have a better chance than if they're actively putting down roots in this new place. Distance is also a huge factor. If they're only moving a town over, you obviously have a much better chance than you do if they're maybe moving to another continent. And if your ex has roots in your town and wants to live there long term, then this is going to drastically increase your chances of reconnecting. At some point, you'll have to decide on a place to live together, but for now, just focus on the positives and make every interaction you have fun and exciting for your ex. Sign number 5, the relationship was extremely toxic. So time apart can make you realize what you were taking for granted, but if your relationship was toxic, this time apart will make you recognize just how bad things were. And the same is true for your ex. So if you two didn't get along, had huge fights, were cruel to each other, and especially if things crossed the line into abuse or infidelity, then your chances are pretty much as low as they could possibly be. If this describes your situation, then I'd recommend one or both of you to seek professional help to sort out your personal issues before you try to date anyone again, including your ex. Some other signs of toxicity include misunderstandings, repeated breakups, hot and cold behavior, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. But seriously, these are lesser issues that can often be worked through to bring you guys back together. In fact, a little drama can actually help you out here sometimes. Conflict has actually been proven to bring two people closer together. Fighting creates a bond. It's an unhealthy bond, but it is a bond all the same. On top of this, unresolved conflict will create a sense of unfinished business for your ex. You'll be haunting their every thought like a ghost, and eventually they're going to want to come back to you, if only to rid themselves of this feeling. But there's a fine line between conflict and toxicity. Of course, it's not really about how bad you think things were. It's more about your ex's perception of them. So try to put yourself in their shoes for a minute and ask yourself, would you want yourself back? Sign number 6, they've deleted all your photos from social media. So this is a modern sign that might not be applicable to all of you watching. If you go to your ex's page and all the signs have been wiped clean, this is a pretty strong sign that they're moving on and won't be coming back to you. Social media is the lens through which you show yourself to the world, so people are careful about what they're sharing. This is why your ex will hesitate to make sure big changes like this are done until they're sure it's over, because there's no way to take it back. Think about it. You wouldn't post a lovey-dovey photo with someone you've only been on 3 dates with, even if you really felt confident about the relationship, because it would be embarrassing if things didn't work out after declaring your love to the world, or at least to your whole world. The same principle applies here. Your ex usually won't delete these photos unless they're sure that things are really over. But there are some exceptions. If your ex did this just a few days after your breakup, then this could have been more of a sign of anger than a sign that they're truly over you. If you're at a loss for how your ex is feeling right now, then I do have something for you. Go to xbackquiz.com and find the answer. Brad Browning is one of the top breakup experts here on YouTube, and he's put together a simple quiz to tell you your chances of getting back together with your ex after the breakup. It's free. It only takes 5 minutes, and of course it's completely confidential. So again, that's xbackquiz.com to find out your chances once and for all. Sign number 7, they act indifferent. If your ex is friendly towards you after the breakup, this is a good sign. If your ex is hot and cold with you, this is also a good sign because it means that they're conflicted. And if your ex is really angry at you, this can be a good sign as well because it means that they're still invested in your relationship. It's when your ex is indifferent towards you that you should be worried. This is the real killer when it comes to reconnecting with your ex. I try to think of it like this. Try to remember someone you went out with 3 years ago. How did you feel about them? I'm guessing you have a little regret, a little attraction, and maybe a little sadness. Maybe a little happiness at the memory of these times you had together. But these feelings are probably distant because you haven't thought about them in so long. Now imagine getting back together with them. The idea seems almost ridiculous, right? You two have been apart for so long that you don't even know them anymore. You have little to no interest. This is how your ex will feel about you once they're truly over you. They won't be mad, they won't be upset, they just won't care. If you reach out, they're probably going to treat you with respect, but without interest. This is because they see you as a part of their past and not their future. And that can really hurt. So this has been 7 signs that your ex is never coming back. Remember that in most situations, there still is hope. If you can make a plan and stick to it, you may still be able to win back your ex. And if you need inspiration, like this video and subscribe to the Breakup Corner for brand new videos every week. Thanks for watching. I'm Dave Barker, and we'll see you next time.